going to be talking about my class that I just released yesterday, Styling Fundamentals,
Yes,
which
yes.
I'm very, very excited about. And
Mm-hmm.
it's finally out. I mean, you know, I've been working on this thing forever. So, but we can start.
So, first of all, I wanted to say I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, babes.
When was it officially 2 years since you moved to LA?
This
Like just
past
the
week,
other day, right?
yeah, just the other day. It's so crazy because the first day I moved to LA, we we went we we basically were in LA at the same time, right? And we
Yeah.
had an
Let's
America.
tell them the story.
Okay, so I'll tell you guys a story really quick. I just decided, okay, I'm going to move to LA, and literally packed up 3 of my suitcases and my dog, and I said, Dahlia was already in LA working, I believe. And I was like, hey girl, I'm coming out there. How long you want to be out there? We should probably get a place together. And we got an Airbnb for like a month together.
It
And
felt like longer though. It
it
felt
felt
like
like
almost like two
longer.
months or something. Yeah.
But I think, and we got the Airbnb, and I landed, and I rented a car, and then I went to go meet Dahlia because she was already at the Airbnb, and yeah, we were just figuring it out. Where were we in, like Pasadena or something?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I haven't even been back there since. But
No, it wasn't
but
Pasadena. It was like
was it
it
Pasadena?
wasn't. No, it was in the hills somewhere. It was like um it was
It
near
was it was
Elysian
in
Park,
that
right?
it was in that area. Oh, it was kind of near Echo Park, somewhere in
Echo
that.
Park.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
somewhere
was kind
in
of
that
like that area.
area. Yeah, and we spent a month together, and I remember telling her, like, girl, I can't believe I just moved to LA. Like, I just moved to LA from New York. What is my life? Like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Although I was doing some styling in New York, and obviously I've been doing modeling forever, but in LA, I just didn't know. I was trying to, like, listen to
Mm.
my intuition and figure out how it was going to lead me. So I was just pretty much like, okay, God, I'm here. You told me to come here. I'm here. So what
Yeah.
do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the space that I was in. And it's crazy that I've been here for 2 years now. And now I finally am doing the courses.
But I'm so
So
proud of you because obviously
thank you.
being there literally from the jump, from day one, and you know, you've been in LA for 2 years now, and
Yeah.
I mean that's not easy. Like people think you can just up and leave and move to LA. Like, nah, shit is
Nah,
crazy. Like
nah.
that city will eat you up and spit you
Eat
out.
you
Like
up, spit you out, you know, eat you up, spit you out, and some more. And you know, you learn. I'm learning so much by just being out here, especially like all
yeah.
my family and friends are on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally been me just trying to find my way, see what works, see
Yeah,
what
do your
doesn't.
thing.
It's been a lot of trial and error,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. But here we are, 2 years later, full of just crazy ups and downs, hills and valleys, some of the highest points of my career, and still some of the lowest. So I think all these experiences has led to this very moment of
Yeah.
me finally putting everything that I've learned into a course that can hopefully help people, that will help people.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
yeah,
talk to us about this course. How long did you have it in development for? How long have you been working on it?
this entire quarantine.
And for you guys that don't know, Amira launched a course yesterday now, right?
Yes, I launched my fashion styling course, Styling Fundamentals. It's basically a fundamental course just for those who want to get into styling or those who are already stylists, but kind of just need to find their way. You need to figure out where to go, what to do, how to connect the dots. Because when I first started styling, I was doing it trial and error. I was figuring it out, right? And I
Yeah.
didn't really have anyone to give me game.
Mm.
Yes, I had peers that are stylists, but go to them and be like, yo, tell me everything I need to know, because, you know, people have to go through their own journeys, right? We have to see what works for us, see what doesn't. We have to create our own story. So for me, it was basically like, all right, I'm not going to just go to people and try to get a handout. Let me figure it out, whether that's research, whether that's, you know, watching how other stylists do things, and then, you know, adding my finesse to my own and making it my own, or just being aware, right, and very observant. So that was pretty much what happened for me. And now at this point, which caused the birth of this course, is, you know what, in this quarantine, I think I don't know what you're going to ask me further down the line, but I feel like I'm going on and on. But I feel like in this quarantine, it's really allowed me to sit and think about my business, think about how I'm going to move forward, think about how I want to present myself, just think about everything, right? The whole reconstruction.
Yeah.
So, and I don't ever want to be in a place again where where, God forbid, we're in a quarantine again and I'm feeling asked out. I should never be asked out. I should always be making money, you know?
Yeah.
And although making this course isn't about money or anything like that, it's just about making sure that you're constantly providing some type of service to your audience. You're not losing them, no matter what's happening in the world, right?
Exactly.
So
I feel like you always have to give value to you know, your audience, your followers, you know, whoever is on your Instagram, and I feel like you're definitely doing that.
Thank you. And that's one of the things that I had to figure out, because when this quarantine happened, I'm like, oh my God, how can I continue to give value to my audience? How can I continue to service my audience? And I kind of, you know, I always want to do a course and things like that, but I felt like this was a perfect time because I was actually able to sit down and hone in and really focus on developing, you know, the perfect course for parts of my audience. You know, and a big part of my audience are our aspiring stylists and emerging stylists that are always asking questions. So this was my time to really cater to them.
That does bring me on to the next question I was going to ask you. Who would you say this course is for?
Yeah, this course is for emerging and aspiring stylists, also intermediate stylists. So this is for stylists who want to get into or designers or whomever is interested in style or fashion. I feel like there's a range of information in there that can, you know, add value to just a creative overall, you know, someone who's just looking to expand on their skills. Sorry about that.
That ain't on my side, honey.
That's over here. That's over here.
Baba's in the house. Hey,
these LA streets is loud. It's popping. But no, so this course is for stylists and creatives and designers, whoever has an interest in fashion and style. Those who want to know how to break into the industry, those who are trying to understand how to get their foot into the door, and those who maybe are stylists as well, and they've kind of lost their way, or they're trying to connect the dots and try to get back on track. This course can also help you as well. And this course is basically laying the foundation of what you need to know as a stylist before you go and try to build a business around it, or, you know, before you may have had clients and still can take this course to sharpen your skills. So it's about sharpening your skills overall. Yeah.
And for me, I mean, I've seen the course. I've basically assessed it, analyzed it, demoed it, and I've gone over it. And I think it's great. And I feel like it's not just for stylists, but I mean, anyone in a creative space that wants to know more about styling. For example, I feel like even as a photographer, it's so useful to know what the styling process is and how, you know, stylists function and how they work, because I mean, this is kind of going down later in the conversation because I'm going to bring this back up, but I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily understand the way stylists work.
Yeah.
And the different stages and the processes and how it, you know, what the certain things you need to do to get clothes and return the clothes and all of that stuff. So I feel like it's good for other creatives just to know, you know.
Yeah.
So anyone in the creative industry that wants to know about the styling processes, I feel like this course is very helpful for. So I would also encourage like photographers or, you know, makeup artists or anyone else in that area to, like, you know, learn and tap into it. Because why
That's
not?
true.
You know,
That's true,
knowledge is
because
power. Why not?
That's true, because this course can also help those who are always working with stylists. It's not just for stylists, right?
Right.
It's somewhat of an FYI.
Producers too.
Yeah, producers, yeah, everyone,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But those, it's always helpful to gain, you know, to get information and apply it, and gain knowledge and apply it. But
Yeah,
for stylists specifically, this will help them on the road to their careers, you know. So yeah.
So what would you say people can expect from the course?
So from the course, you're going to be learning about an array of topics, from, you know, the practicalities of styling and how to prepare for fitting, how to execute a photo shoot like a professional, knowing different parts of the shoot, from the pre-shoot process to being on set etiquette, how to communicate with photographers, directors, producers, how to wrap up a shoot, you know, how to put together credits. What else are you going to learn? You're going to learn about the creative process, and how a creative team is an asset to the process. You're going to learn about mood boards, and how to create storyboards and clothes boards, because they're all three different things. You're going to learn about how to identify trends that's happening in the fashion industry.
So
you're going to learn about identifying trends, and how to use your inspiration and apply it to your work. You're going to learn about how to separate your voice, and how to have your creative voice stand out in this digital world that we're living in nowadays, and how to maximize your socials. You're going to learn about, basically, you know, the roles of a stylist, you know, the skills stylists need to be successful, the world of styling and the different types of styling, from editorial to red carpet to styling for a fashion show, to e-commerce, to styling for a brand, to the list just goes on and on. You're going to learn about, you know, the pros and cons of the life of being a freelancer, the life of a freelancer. You're going to learn about, you know, interning, assisting, even if you're already a stylist already, how to seek interns, how to seek assistants, what makes a great assistant. And then I give away some amazing templates for you guys. I got some gems in there as well that I don't want to talk about, because it's like a surprise factor in the end.
Yeah, you don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but the course is very has a lot of depth to it, which is why it took me so long to create it. I literally worked on this course my entire quarantine, which is going on 2 months now. So, and I'm like a perfectionist, so I'm very OCD. So I wanted to make sure that it was perfect for you guys. So, so you'll learn about an array of things, but
and
that's
I think
the gist of
it's
it.
so great that you're still able to, like, teach during this period. And, you know, I feel like this time now is like, we should try and make it as valuable as possible, and, you know, use it to learn new skills, to pick up new habits. So, you know, for you to be able to offer this course during this time is just, I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time. Me,
right?
You know?
And it was something I've sorry to cut you off. It was something I've always thought about, but none of us knew that quarantine was going to happen, right? So when this happened, I'm like, oh shoot, like I can't service my clients anymore. And people don't really want other people in their homes right now. So even if, you know, there are some people who don't mind, I can go help and do closet detox and all of that, help them with their closets. But now's the time to really service those who are trying to maximize their skills and who want to be better
Yeah,
coming out of quarantine. So what can
definitely.
I do to add to that, And
Mm-hmm.
it was just perfect timing for me to create this class
Yeah,
and to put it out, because I honestly don't know when it would have came out any other time if we were still going like normal.
right.
So
Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
you did want to do something similar in the physical, right? But
Right.
now that you're able to do it online, that's, I mean, this time doesn't really affect you from pushing
Right.
through with that. But,
Right.
speaking of online and the internet, how do you feel like the future of styling is going to change with everything that's happening now? Do you feel like it's going to make that transition online, or?
I mean, that's honestly a question that I just wonder about daily, because
Mm-hmm.
this is my field, it's my career, right? So it is something that I wonder about daily. But one thing I do know is that it is going to go more in a digital route. I mean, I can't speak for all stylists out there, but I know I'm adapting the digital route, because it just alleviates
Yeah.
for more opportunity. It's more options, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't ever want to feel like I'm out of options. And
Right.
outside of styling clients, which I mean, I love my job. I love what I do, right? But I'm creating a business around this for myself, and it's more than servicing clients. I want to offer more,
Mm-hmm.
to the world. I want to offer more. I want to make more of an impact, and so adding different aspects to my business is helping me to create that format.
Mm.
So I do feel like, with the future of styling and the future of fashion, I think it's going to get interesting. I'm not really sure how yet, but I do think that there will be more, it'll be more services that would like to not be in person, that would not like to be physical, more so just, digital, whether that's even a showroom as
But
well.
it's
So
hard
for
because
style,
it's such a hands-on job.
it's such a hands-on job. So that's why it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what is this going to look like
And
post
like
quarantine,
size
right?
and fit and like all of these things are like very
Touching
important. Like
people,
these are all
touching clothes,
parts of your
touching
job.
jewelry. You're touching everything,
Right.
right? You're
Yeah.
touching everything. You're around so many people. Um,
Tailoring.
I mean, it's such a hands-on job. So to be honest, I don't have the answer, but I do think it's going to be more digital. I do think that,
Yeah.
now this time is allowing for more stylists to really think about options.
Yeah.
What else can we do to service our clients outside of being in their face all the time or on their bodies, right? Or what
Yeah.
else can we do? For me, it's always about more than just styling. It should be about the entire business. It should be about the entire message you're
Right.
trying to, get out there. And you can
Mm-hmm.
be talented at styling a client and making them look and feel amazing, but what else, right? What else?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And apart
from
from just, what you're like, what you're giving to your clients in terms of creating as a stylist, how do you feel like, you can still do that now? Not necessarily as a job, but just, as a stylist, if you wanted to create something, where, in a normal space or a normal time, you would have, maybe test shoots or just
oh
creative
yeah,
shoots
but
and
there's so many.
collaborations.
That's true. There's so many ways to do it now, like going,
Because I'm seeing
doing.
people do these like FaceTime photo shoots now.
I
What do you
saw
think of
that.
that?
I saw that too, and it actually came out good. And I was like, oh wow, people are getting really creative. I think
Yeah.
it's forcing us to really get creative and to see how creative we can be,
Mm.
outside of FaceTime shoots and all that. Maybe even, going live. Maybe even, or maybe just doing more homework, and so that
Yeah.
when it is time to go back out, we can really create on another level. So, I think it's more about honing in on skills, sharpening your skills, looking through different eras, watching films and movies and, old music videos. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Just reading about the future of fashion, maybe even trying to adapt, a different way of styling. I don't know, like invent a new way of styling. There's e-services that you can, there's online services that you can provide too for clients. It's not as personable, but it's definitely an option.
Yeah.
Whether that's FaceTiming your client and helping them sort through their closet, or helping them figure out looks for the week. Like those are, ways too. It's not
Have you
ideal,
worked
but
in those ways before?
I have.
And what do you find challenging about it?
Because I'm not there. Period.
Okay.
I'm not there, so it makes it harder when you just wish you could be like, oh no, that one over there, nope, that to the right, no, to the left. Like you just want to grab it, right?
Yeah.
But you're not
You're
there.
like the black one. They're like, which
right.
black one? There's like 10
right.
black ones. You're like,
right. You're like,
black on the left and the right.
And then you're like, is that black or navy blue? So it's challenging, and I still don't, honestly, babe, I still don't even have the exact answer, but every day I'm like thinking of new ways that I can possibly create in this time, because we are creatives and we want to be able to express ourselves. So now that this class is out, I'm like, okay, what's next? So
this question is a bit different to what I had in mind. I was going to ask you something, but this kind of popped into my head. I want to ask you, what do you think is important about styling in general? Like, what is the importance of styling? Why is styling important? Why do we need stylists?
Everyone doesn't need stylists. Styling, it's a privilege. It's a luxury. It's not for everyone. So that's number one. But also for those who don't have stylists or may want to know about styling is a form of, it's a first impression. You know what I mean? It helps. It makes people take you serious before even knowing your name or getting to know you, because it's how you present yourself. If you have a sense of style, it's about how you carry yourself. It's an attitude. It gives you it's like a confidence. It's something that you just, either you have it or you don't. But people with style, I feel like, are respected off of first impression more than someone that just looks basic. So I think styling helps you present yourself in a way where people automatically, it forces them to pay attention before even saying what's your name or what do you do. Right. So I think styling, definitely gives you that one up. But yeah, everyone doesn't. Styling, to be a stylist and to have clients like that, that's for those that want that luxury. It's not for everyone, but there are people who personal styling is a thing too, where I do think that people should definitely have help with getting their closets together, getting their looks together, so that they are more presentable for whatever.
And in a creative space, what would you say the importance is? Because that, what you just said, basically would be more so around personal styling, right? When you're styling people. But if it's a photo shoot or a video shoot or an editorial, like, what would you say the importance, or what does styling add to those products?
It adds elevation, 1000%. The clothes, the jewelry, the shoot, it makes or breaks a photo shoot. It doesn't matter how beautiful the location is, how beautiful the set design is. If the look of the artist is not on point, or the looks of the dancers or whomever is a part of that creative visual is not, it doesn't look a certain way, it won't add to the shoot, no matter how beautiful, everything
I think it's
is.
The most important thing, if you ask me.
It's the most important thing. But I mean, but you're a director, you know what I mean? You're a director, so when you're doing treatments and when you're putting together your ideas for videos, outside of the location and the attitude of what you want the video to give, it's about the look. Exactly. So I think styling is 1000% very important to every part of the creative process. And I think that as a stylist, we're one of the pioneers in the industry to be able to show everyone else what's on trend or what looks good, because we're able to be in a place where we can create moments, where we're able to set trends.
Someone said that's the first thing I'm looking at.
She
I
bought
totally
it.
agree.
She bought the course, so she probably already started.
You know what's good for you, sis.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your support. It's gonna bless you. But yeah, so
I literally agree with what she said. It's the first thing. Even when you meet someone on the street, like what they're wearing is the first thing you see. The first
thing before you even decide if I want to shake this person's hand or not, right? So
exactly. It speaks volumes, definitely.
It speaks volumes, 1,000. Yeah.
So, if you wasn't a stylist, what would you be?
If I wasn't,
would you still be in the creative industry?
Oh, 1,000. I think I don't really know what other industry I would be in outside of fashion industry. But if I wasn't a stylist, I'd be, I'd go back to my original passion, which is a supermodel. I'd be focusing more on my modeling. And maybe even fashion designing, because that's also something that I want to tap into, designing my own products and clothes and.
Right, yeah. But you could still do those things.
I can still do those things, but I mean, I would still be in the fashion industry, right?
Okay, so not far off then.
No, not far off. I don't really have a plan B or C of industries. Like, I don't know. I think this is it for me. Like, I knew it from when I was young.
Yeah.
I knew it from when I was young. First of all, my mom, she could tell you, like, every time a camera came around, I was like, always ready. Always ready. I was very shy, very reserved child, but always ready for the camera. I kind of just like being in the spotlight. I liked all eyes on me to a certain extent. And I loved like wearing her clothes. Like I used to go and walk in her heels. Walk in her, not really wearing it, but trying it on, it being so big for me when I'm little, right? But like putting on her heels and walking around the house and putting on lipstick and hats and just wanting to get dressed up, wanting to be grown. I always wanted to just be grown so I could just, be dressed. And then I always just had an eye for style. I always had a creative eye. I always had, my mom was always like, wow, like you're so young, you have such expensive taste. Like you always, when we go to the mall, you always go and say, Mom, I want this, which is always the most expensive thing. And it's like, I didn't know anything about pricing then, but I always had an eye for like detail. I always had an eye for what's good quality and just like what's, what just looks good to me. So yeah, I always had that. And I think it just carried over. And in my adolescent years, I began modeling and I would style all my shoots. I would put all my looks together. Yep. Even when I was
in the first time we met as well. We did a shoot together.
We did a shoot together.
You styled it.
I went to London, guys. Like I met Dolly on social media and we were going back and forth. And then I went to London. And then we had a shoot that was scheduled and she was a photographer. I was the model / stylist, whatever. And I put the looks together and the shoot came out fire. And I still use those photos to this day.
Yeah, those are definitely some of my favorite pictures. And I think like when I knew you was just coming, and modeling and styling, I was sold. I was just like, perfect, and I feel like it's just a skill to have. If you are going to work in the creative field, like even as a photographer, sometimes I used to style my own shoots and I just feel like it gives you that extra leverage, and that extra just bit of talent that you can bring into any creative situation. So it is definitely key to know.
Yeah. I'm grateful for my eye and my gift because like you said, I really don't know what else I would be doing if I was not in fashion. Like, I don't know.
Do you know what I love about your taste?
Well,
not necessarily your taste, but the way you style. Like I could always tell when it's you. I'm just like, that is a mirror. Like she did
what do you tell me?
You're like, tell me. No, literally, I'm just like, I just know when it's you. Like I could just tell, like you put the
it's just
together.
Something, right?
But I feel like at the same time, I feel like you make it you, but it's not, you're not dressing the person how you would dress yourself. It's still them, but it's got your touch to it.
It's through my filter.
Exactly that. And I feel like that is key. There's a lot of big stylists that kind of don't do that. They just, it's like a copy paste situation. Yeah. But I feel like you're very careful, and that's not something that you do. So
oh, thank you.
I appreciate that about you.
And we've worked together on a number of occasions. So, you know, there is an aspect of our relationship where, you know, where we are on set or we are working together, and it's like, all right, we're not besties right now. We need to get this done. Can you hear me?
Facts. Big facts.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not besties right now. We need to get this done. So, you know, I know, like, listen, if I was slipping.
When we're working together, it's business.
It's business. It's business completely. And, like,
we ain't being nice to each other. We're just like, yep. Gotta get
because we're also trying to perform to our best in our expertise, right? To be able to bring a full vision together. And we both have very valuable aspects of that vision. You know, you're deciding how the vision's created, and I'm the one that's making it look a certain way due to the aesthetics of the wardrobe.
Exactly.
So it has to be on point. So when I'm slipping, or if I'm slipping, I know you would tell me, like, okay, sis, no, I think it could be better this way. You know what I mean? So I really enjoy working with you.
To be able to, like, just be honest as well, especially working on set or working in the creative field or working with a team or in a production crew. Like, you have to be able to speak to, you know, your crew members and tell them, like, if you like something, if you don't like something, if you feel like something needs to be changed. And, you know, on the receiving end, you need to be able to take that feedback and adapt, you know?
Right.
And I feel like, I mean, we work well together, and, you know, I know you work great with other people too. So, but that's something that needs to be taught. I feel like that, like, you can have impeccable style, but you may not necessarily have, like, you know, the attitude to go with it.
Right.
I feel like attitude is part, like, it's like half of the job, basically.
That's what it's about.
It's like 50% of the job.
Attitude. Carolyn, what's her name? Carolyn Dish. What? You know who I'm talking about?
Who?
She was like the one of the fashion editors of Vogue in Paris. She works really closely with Jeremy Scott. Carolyn Disher. I don't know how to pronounce her last name all the way. She's like, it's all about the attitude.
It's all about the attitude.
And, like, I'm like, yes, you're right. It is about the attitude. That's what it's all about. And but yeah, I really enjoy working with you because I feel like we help push each other. And when I remember, I'll never forget this. There's one set that we worked on, a music video. Well, they're all music videos. But I was dressing not just the main talent, but the people that were in the video as well, like the not extras. What do you call them?
Whether maybe they were extras. I don't know.
This was Aurora. We were working on set of Aurora.
Okay, and so the extras or the band members.
Exactly. So there were band members that was a part of the set, and I had to dress them as well as the artists. And I got them dressed just based off of what I thought she wanted. And then she was like, sis, I need them to look like cousins, not brothers. I said, oh, okay. So we're not making them look alike. You know what I'm saying? They all have their individual style, but they're all still in sync as band members. And, like, that stuck with me. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess they look like cousins now. What do you think? And she's like, okay, great. Now they look better. And that stuck with me. And I was like, oh, wow, like, make them look like cousins, not brothers. That was great. I love that.
You know why that is so funny? Because when I said it to you, you was literally like, oh, yeah. Like, you're like, that makes sense. I could see that it made sense. So I was like, okay, cool.
You're like,
I could go
you're like,
there,
no,
like, you know what
I need them to look like, but you know how you communicate sometimes when you're on set. It's like, she gets really bitchy, guys, on set, but it's out of pure love.
No, don't listen to her. Listen, I didn't come on IG Live for this.
It's pure love. She's just really passionate about what she does. But, like, she was like,
thank you.
She was like, no, like, cousins, not brothers. And I was like, oh, okay, got you. Come back in 5 minutes. But that was great.
Yeah, man. You have to be able to communicate, you know, the vision, exactly what you want, as clearly as possible.
It's definitely possible.
Okay. So what would you say are some of the mistakes or lessons that you learned along the way in relation to work? Not personal.
Wow. Um, I've learned so many lessons, like on a daily basis, that because I mean, work is my life, right? So,
Yeah.
um, some lessons that I've learned.
Is this the Haitian flag?
This is the Haitian flag. Gang, gang, gang. Um,
I'm not Haitian, but hey.
hey, some of the lessons that I've learned is to not make valuable lessons. Yes, to not make money the focus. Right. There are times where in this field, especially when you're starting out, and
Mm-hmm.
you realize how lucrative your career path can be, right? And you just never want to take advantage of that, because if you focus on the money, then you're doing it for the wrong thing.
Facts.
And then it gets in the way of your true creativity. So you know I do remember times, like, where it wasn't always good. You know what I mean? You got to struggle sometimes, especially when you don't really know what you're doing, or you got to trial and error. You're struggling. You're broke. You're just trying to figure it out. And,
Yeah.
It's not as fulfilling when you get paid for something that you really didn't put it all into, because you were really focused on the tech in the end. Right. And then you look back on that work and you're like, oh, I'm not that proud of that. And I know why I'm not that proud of that. It's because I wasn't really focused on it. But because I knew that I was going to get X amount of dollars for that job, I did it. But I didn't really put my all into it, because I was more so focused on, getting the money to like catch up on bills or just dumb stuff like that. But so learning to always put the creativity and the passion first, and the money will follow. So not making money the focus. Because
and we all have to do those jobs, as creatives, where it's literally a money job. Like, there's the passion jobs and there's the money jobs.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like sometimes the passion projects, like, no one gets paid, but you're doing it because it's an idea that you have in your head and you want to bring it to life. And then sometimes there's it could be a little bit of money, or it could be a lot of money, but you need it, so you're going to do it regardless. Right. I've had my fair share of those too, and I feel like it's about navigating your way through that, just as a freelancer, and just coming to a point where you can turn down those jobs eventually, Right.
But it's also, your name is on that, right?
Yeah.
You're expressing your creativity and your interpretation of that job, of that concept. So you don't.
For me, it got to the point where I was like, I literally can't afford to have my name attached to this work, so I'd rather turn it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your name is more valuable than any check.
and that's where I am with it now. Well, 1,000%, because the money is energy, right? You just gotta catch it. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's just like it has to be it's attached to your name, and it's just like you don't. The bigger you get, the further back people look at where you've come from. So you never want something. I mean, even though we have to grow to the spaces we're in now, you always want to feel good about everything you put out, right? So when the money is the focus, you don't always feel the best about the project. So that's one of the lessons that I've learned. Another lesson that I've learned is to be patient, with yourself and your craft, and allow it to develop and evolve the way that it's going to, always stay on top of educating yourself in terms of finding new ways to be inspired, and just not letting, you never want an opportunity to come and you're not prepared. So always making sure that you're being patient with yourself, but also being prepared in the interim for whatever may come, because you may not get work for a month or two. I mean, you should, in terms of like clients that you want, you may not get that. There's very much ups and downs in this industry, right? Slow times and very high volume times. So you want to make sure that in those times that are slow, you're still maximizing that time, and you are still looking for things that you're inspired by, whether that means going to a museum, whether that means looking through a magazine, whether that means you know, for visionaries or, you know, stylists, for me, everything's a picture, right? You see things in pictures, you're inspired by everything. Like, your eye just catches things. It's like just a gift that you have. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's also a muscle. So just sharpening that muscle and just never, you know, just allowing things to come your way and you not be prepared for it. So that's also another lesson that I've learned, to always make sure I'm 10 steps ahead and being prepared, so that when the opportunity that I want comes by, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to take it, and I'm ready to tackle it, and make the best of it, so it doesn't slip through my fingers. So
big facts.
Big facts.
I wish I had sound effects right now. Okay, so how are you navigating through the styling business at the moment?
I'm taking it day by day.
Someone put an egg. Is that me? Am I the egg?
Yeah, you're the egg.
I am.
You're the egg and the bean. How am I navigating through the styling business right now?
What's it like at the moment?
I'm literally taking.
You can't put your hands on people.
Right.
I can't shoot no one at the moment, so.
Yeah, I'm currently not styling anyone at the moment. I have had clients reach out and say, "Oh, I'm having a photo shoot. Do you think you can style me for this?" And it's like, yeah, I can. Not many showrooms are open, but you know, if with enough time in advance, we are able to buy.
Are any showrooms open right now?
By appointment only. I remember a showroom or two sending emails out saying that they were still taking appointments. But I don't really know how successful they've been with that. But like I said, I haven't had anyone to style, so I haven't really been, reaching out to showrooms for that purpose. But yeah, I'm not styling anyone right now. I've been focused on creating my academy, which is AV Academy, which is the program that I'm offering for emerging and aspiring stylists to just be able to learn about the world of fashion and styling through different mediums of education and creativity, right?
Yeah.
So I've just been honing in on building that out, which birthed Styling Fundamentals fashion styling course, and which will just continue to birth more and more courses, classes, ebooks, workshops that I'm really excited about. So just my business, pretty much.
What would you say makes this course in particular special?
What makes it special? It's the premiere, so it's the foundation. It's a course that basically is gonna lay the foundation for everything else. So as a stylist, right, you need to know where to start. You need to know how to connect the dots. You need to know certain things that they don't teach you, right? And this is all through experience. So this course is special because I've truly put things that I've experienced and things that's worked for me to be able to style the people that I've styled and people that I've worked with in my career. I've literally used my experiences and put it in this course. So it's special because it's real, it works, the information in it works. If you apply it, it will work for you. And yeah, I think once you're done with the course, you will be able to be well on your way to gaining more and more clients, and also not just getting them, but keeping them, right? And maintaining them and sustaining them. And then go towards building your business around it. So I think it's just like, it's the jump off. Like, it sets you off to be able to attract what you want, to be able to really formulate an entire business around it. So that's why it's special, because the information works. It's real life experiences put into a course, and that can help aspiring, intermediate, emerging stylists, you know, designers, creatives. So
definitely. And they could just take that information and run with it.
Run with it. What do you feel
like the next step would be then? I mean, because people don't know what's in your course, right? Until you purchase it, until you're part of it.
Well, in the
So,
beginning of
but
this conversation,
people
I just told
listening.
you. In the beginning of this conversation, I just told you what you'll learn from it. So, outside of that, what did you say? What's next?
Yeah, what would the next step be? So once someone has completed your course and they finished it, what would the next step be?
The next
Would they
step
be
would be,
ready to go out there in the real world,
oh
or
yeah, 1000%. I just gave you
yeah,
all the facts, right? So it's like the whole point isn't to just read it and be like, okay, and sit there. No,
so it
you apply.
literally takes someone that wants to be a stylist and prepares them to go out in the real world and literally start working.
Exactly. This prepares you to go out and start working, start attracting your clients, knowing how to carry yourself in different settings, understanding just the basic facts, the knowledge. There's a whole glossary at the end of the class where it
Yeah,
explains words that you may not have known, what that I use throughout the course. It explains what everything is so that you can even start speaking the styling language.
right.
It's all there.
What
It's
are some
all
of
there.
those words? Can you share some with us?
Yeah, I can share some of that. Some of those
Teach
words
me
are,
something, girl.
there's like 5 pages of glossary terms. A call sheet, casting, concept development, collaborators, creative direction, credits, freelance, editorials, logistics, on location, post production, references, mood board, street casting, test shoots, styling kit, sample. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you think this course will impact the way in which people learn how to style and get into the industry?
I think that,
Because there are courses out there, right?
yeah,
But
there's few. There's not many courses on fashion styling, but there are some for sure.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
So
But
I think this is
with
just,
yours, after seeing it, I personally feel like, I haven't compared it to other courses that are out there, but I feel like it's very effective. And reading through all of the material, I know that if I sat down and I studied it, I can go and become a stylist tomorrow. And I
yeah.
feel like, in a sense, it's almost like a cheat code or a crash course, because it literally, you can literally go from A to Z.
That's exactly what it is, babe. It's a crash course. It's a crash course. And I forgot your question.
I said, how do you feel like it will impact the way in which people learn how to style?
It can give you a blueprint. It can give you a blueprint, a crash course, a blueprint. Of course, if you really take it in and if you apply it. And
I mean, because people in London actually go to university to learn styling. Like here, you can actually study in school for 3 years.
Oh, yeah, no.
I
went to school for fashion.
I wouldn't advise that personally.
No, I think styling is.
Someone said, what website can people go to see the brand? I think they're talking about
what brand. Well, if you're talking about the class, it's link in my bio, Styling Fundamentals, and it'll take you right to the class. And then if you're talking about my website, that's just thevmo.com. But we're talking about the fashion course right now, the class I just put out yesterday. So yeah, I personally, I didn't go to school for styling. I went to school for fashion, like studying the business of fashion as a whole. But with styling, I feel like you have to have an eye, and you have to have, but it's something that you can learn too. I don't want to say styling is not something that people can learn, because, for example, if you decided today you wanted to be a stylist, you can definitely learn it and be an amazing stylist.
I mean, that's the whole point of having your course as well, because it's teachable.
Exactly. It's teachable. It's on the Teachable platform.
You got my pun?
Huh?
That was a
yeah. You threw that in there. I caught it. So yeah, you can. I think the impact that it will make will just be. I can't wait to see the results.
Oh, my light went off. Okay, it's back.
I can't wait to see the results from people that have actually taken it. Like, that's how I'll know how much of an impact it's made. But I've honestly given it all that I can give it. I've put in not only my personal experiences, but the facts that I know to be true about styling. So I think
Right.
the impact will more so come from when people get results from it. So for those who are going to take the class, I want you guys to, you know, there is a feedback survey at the end of the course to let you know, to basically ask you what you thought about it, you know, what you learned about it, and also how can it be better? Because at the end of the day, this is my, oh, thank you, Annie. That's great. I really appreciate that. This is my first time putting together a course, but I also know that I put a lot into it, and I know for a fact that if you take it in and apply it, you'll be good. Like, you'll be good. You'll be good. So,
would you say there's any challenges you face in the industry?
Yeah, there are challenges for sure, because there's not many female Black stylists at all. So I'm one of the very few, and I don't think we get that. We don't get the same opportunities as the male stylists, or maybe we just have to work a little bit harder and be more attention to detail and not drop the ball. We have to just be more careful and more we just have to work harder, because we have to prove ourselves. There's a lot of male stylists in the industry of all ethnicities, but Black stylists have been getting more recognition for sure. But yeah, there's not many Black female women stylists. There's women stylists, Caucasian, of course, or Asian or whatever, but not many Black women stylists. So those are just some of the things that I struggle with, is just trying to prove myself. What else?
Why do you think there's not that many Black female stylists? Or do you think there are, but they're just not being seen, or they don't have a big platform? Or do you feel like there's just not a lot of Black females that are in, like, going down that career path? Because for me, when I was starting out, I just felt like there wasn't any Black females that wanted to get into photography or directing or even hold a camera, right? So, and I feel like that has changed dramatically in the last, 10 years. That's how long I've been doing it. And I feel like now people do it in different forms and mediums, whether it's, through blogging, through YouTubing, like everyone knows how to film a video and edit it now, And I feel like back then, initially when I started, it was seen as such a masculine thing. But even still, I feel like, because I was like one of the early females in my course in school. So, but I feel like, regardless of, the connotations that is tied to it, like, whether it comes across as more masculine or whatever, I feel like a lot of Black females may have been interested, but they didn't know how to get their foot in the door. So do you feel like it's the same with styling? So there are perhaps, women out there that want to get into it, but they just don't know how.
Yeah, I do think that, because a lot of the people that send me DMs or questions are Black women.
Right.
So I do think that. But being a stylist and putting yourself out there takes a lot. I mean, it takes consistency. It takes courage. It takes, being proactive and just being unapologetic. You have to be that way in order to get noticed in some way.
Yeah.
And your work, it has to be distinguishable. Like, it has to be distinctive.
Yeah.
You can't just look at the way that someone else styles and put it together the same way and call yourself a stylist. Like, what's special about you? What sets you apart? And I think that's what it's about. Like, what sets you apart, and what makes you special to be able to stand out in a pond full of stylists, because this industry is also very saturated. It's very saturated. So it really takes a lot of hard work. It takes you being authentic, and it takes you standing in your truth and walking in your light and showing that, and that's going to be what allows people to connect with you and want to work with you, and that has to translate in your work, and then that speaks for itself.
Do you feel like,
babe, we have 2 minutes left.
We do?
Yeah, this went by fast.
Man, I have so many more questions.
We can get back on. I just have a 2-minute warning.
Okay, so I have a question for you, but it's not a 2-minute question. So
okay, ask me now so I can think about it while we get back on.
Okay, so the question is, do you think it matters who you? So, for example, they say the bigger name you've worked with, the better, and that would get you more attention or, you know, clout or whatever. Or do you think, you know, it's the quality of your work, and say maybe if you're styling smaller, you know, brands and models and people, then you'll still make it just as far?
Babe, can you say that again? Because you went out. This service is
and then come back and I'll ask you.
Okay. All right, cool. We'll be right back, guys. We'll just come right back on.
Can you hear me? Okay.
We're coming back on, guys. We got cut off, so we're coming back on because we were just cut off of live. Thank you guys for coming back on and joining. As soon as she gets back on here, then we'll continue the conversation. But for those who are new and who are just joining, we are talking about my fashion styling course that I just launched, or that I'm very excited about. I like this filter. This filter is everything. I'm gonna take it off, but Dolly is coming back on here now.
What is on your face?
Do we like this or no? I love it. Like, wow, I'd be even better with gray or blue eyes.
I'm talking to Alien, but it's fine.
Okay, no, I'll take it off.
You know what's so funny? Like how late it is in London right now.
Oh, right. How late is it there?
It's coming up to midnight.
Oh, you're fine. You're always up this time anyway.
I mean, it's quarantine. Everyone's up anyway.
Yeah. You'll be fine. I'm so glad that you're doing
I ain't got nowhere to go.
Okay, tell me that question again, because you were breaking up so much. I couldn't even hear you.
Okay. So the question is, do you think it's more important for a stylist to style bigger names and, you know, bigger actors and actresses and athletes? You know, would that get you further than maybe per se like the quality of your work? So would you say it's like who you style or more how you style?
Well, no. I think
do you get the question? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get it. I think it's how you style, because even if but social media gives us a chance to really put ourselves on the forefront and showcase our work. But a way for our work to get more credibility or more attention is on who we are styling. Right? So if I'm working with Joe Schmo and also working with, you know, LeBron James, Joe Schmo's outfit on a regular could be killing LeBron James.
Yeah.
But LeBron James is going to get more of the recognition because he's LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that.
So more eyes would see your work, essentially.
Yeah, more eyes would see your work depending on who you're styling, because it's, you know, they're wearing it, and then at some, you know, hopefully they tag you, or blogs will tag you, and then that's how you'll get more of the recognition for your work. Yeah,
someone also said both how and who you style. So but but do you feel like it's also important to, like, do a lot of people chase, like, or go after, like, a big name when they're first starting out?
I think that's another thing to not do, because don't
Really?
don't go and chase. I feel like don't go and chase a celebrity because you want that clout. You know what I mean? Like, work, build your relationships. This industry is all about building relationships. Like, I don't think you know how valuable that is. Like, you have to build relationships where people actually fuck with you and want to be able to introduce you to other people. And then that's how you get to style the people that it's meant for you to style. Because like, it's cool to have a vision or to have a goal of someone that you want, but I don't think that you should go straight out the back chasing that person down either. I think it's about putting in the work behind it, so that whenever you do get that person, you can slay them and you can know everything that you need to know as a stylist to really not just get them, but keep them as a client. Because you don't want to just get them and lose them. You want to keep them.
Yeah.
So you have to put in the legwork behind the scenes in order to build, so that when that person comes by, you know, you're keeping them. You scored. Thank you so much.
And how do you keep a client? What's your, like, top 3 tips on how to keep a client?
I'm not going to be doing this 1, 2, 3 thing. All right, I'm just going to tell you.
Don't let me catch a fly and come to you.
How do you keep a client? I do think that sustaining a client it's all about connection.
I'm trying to give people what they want, sis. Okay.
I know, and I'm answering the questions. All right. You keep a client is really about having that authentic connection with them, because clients want people that they like. Because when you're somebody's stylist, you have to talk to them all the time. You have to be around them. So you have to be likable. They have to like you. They have to like your energy. Yeah. They have to just like you, right? So just being authentic and being likable is one thing. 2, making sure that you're always putting your job there first, because there are clients where, you know, you can get comfortable and they can be your friends, but you have to remember you're there to work first. Friends later, right?
Right.
So making sure that you're always on top of your job, even when y'all ha kikiing, it's still, you put your job first, and they know that, all right, no, even if we're getting personal, I know this person's still going to get the job done. So it's establishing some type of trust. So being likable, being able to be trustworthy, obviously, and going above and beyond for them and not dropping the ball. And even if you have dropped the ball, then you know how to quickly fix it or something. And 3, just helping them step outside of their comfort zone and putting them in a new space that they never would have pictured themselves being in if it wasn't for you. So introducing them to new ways of dressing or carrying themselves, which allows them to look in the mirror and be like, wow, like, who is this person? Like, you know, it just makes them feel really good. So being able to introduce a new side of them, if you're able to do that, those 3 things, then I don't think you'll lose that client, you know? Like, that just makes you fuckable. Like, they fuck with a bowl.
Not fuckable.
Not fuckable. Fuck with the bowl, and that's what will make them loyal to you. They'll be loyal to you. So those things.
Okay, so what areas do you think need improving I feel like I'm shouting.
No, you're fine.
What areas in the styling industry do you feel needs improvement?
There's no sense of community, I don't feel, within stylists. There's no, I feel like y'all need to see more of this look. Like, I feel like You need to at least get him a little shoulder, something. Can't see nothing. I'll take a picture after.
Right. Go off this, do a photo shoot. Maybe we'll do a photo shoot together. FaceTime shoot.
Oh my God,
shoot?
can we please? Can we please? I'm gonna
okay,
hold
back to the question.
I'm holding you to that. What did you say? What aspects of the styling industry needs? What?
What areas of the industry needs improving?
Yes, there's no sense of community. I don't feel. I feel like some type of togetherness needs to happen. It shouldn't be about who can get the best clients first or who can, like, it just needs to, we need to, once we get to a certain place, we need to reach back down and bring those behind us up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't wait until I got a chance to style Rihanna to be able to give y'all game or information. Sorry, this
wow, that's
I feel like I'm back in New York again. It's crazy. But yeah, I didn't wait until I got to the top to be able to reach back down and give those behind me game. I'm sorry, did I miss something? What?
No, I'm laughing at what you said about New York.
Yeah, like, I feel like I'm in New York. It's mad ambulances. I hope everything's okay. Yeah, so it's just about, being able to give back game. There's no real sense of community. There's no support group.
Poaching. That's so true.
Yeah. No real community.
No real community client poaching. People do poach clients, huh? Does that happen a lot?
What do people poach clients? Can you elaborate? What does that mean?
Yeah, like, do people try and, like, take your clients or, like, go behind, like, try and sneak behind you to, like, try and get your clients or, like, talk to your clients and communicate with them? I mean, that happens a lot in London, believe it or not.
Yeah, I personally have never done that, but I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Also at those stylists who are doing very well for themselves, who also have an agent. It's weird because you'll see how a person, like a stylist, has a muse or a client for a certain amount of time. It could be a year, 2 years. Next thing you know, it's on to the next stylist that they're peers with, or it's just weird. Like, I don't understand how that happens. But
so they kind of just like hand it over to their friends or something.
I don't know if it's handing it over to friends. I think it's more so like maybe they just want to try something new. It's weird, but stylists and clients, it just switches up a lot. So that's why I think that's the importance of having a client that is loyal to you and someone who will fight for you. Someone who will fight for you. Look, you're next. I mean, I'm sure you got gems to drop too. I mean, but yeah, so I think it's a lot of that going on. But also, I'm learning too to not be too attached, because I don't think no client will be forever. We're gonna outgrow in some capacity. As long as you've done what you can do and serve your purpose in that time, it's okay to move on. It's okay to now take someone else in and mold and shape them. Like, that's totally fine. I think where the animosity comes in is when we get upset or salty or bitter about losing a client or about someone else getting it, and it shouldn't be that.
What you just said about not getting too attached, that's something that I strongly believe in, and that applies to me as well. And I think it should apply to most creatives. You can't really get too attached to your work, because shit happens, or a client might turn around and just be like, I don't fuck with you anymore, like, so you can't really allow your emotions to get, as creatives, we are very emotional people, but you can't really allow your emotions to drive your creativity, or to drive your work, or to be at the forefront, because that will just bring you down ultimately.
Yeah, right. And even assistants too. Like, when you're a big stylist, assistants can take your clients as well. And
when you're
like
you said, that's big stylist and a lot of clients, and a lot of clients, and you don't have the touch points assistants grow and take a client.
Yeah, so basically he's saying that, you know, for example, a big stylist for like Jason Rembert or someone, right? He has like 10, 12, how many clients does he has? Who even knows? But he also has a team of assistants, East Coast, West Coast, Paris, London, wherever. If there's a client that he can't do or someone who is still like just getting into the industry, or he can let that assistant, if it's an assistant that he's groomed and he trusts and who's ready to spread their wings and fly, Jason could definitely be like, yo, like, I can't do this person, but I think this person could be great, and I think that if I vouch for you, then you can have your first client. Like, that conversation can happen, and which is dope. I do think that when
is that
working
how he
with
structured his business?
I'm not sure, I'm just generally speaking,
right. But that's a
but I'm
great
just saying,
example, what you just said. That
yeah, I
right
think,
there is fire. Yeah.
yeah, there are people that have done that, where they've given their assistants clients to go on and start, doing
And
their own thing.
everyone should be applying this, like makeup artists, hairstylists, photographers, like everyone.
Yeah, pass it along. I don't think that in this industry we pass along gigs enough, because we want it all to ourselves, right?
Personally,
And it's
I
just
do it a
like,
lot because I'd rather pass on a gig than do a gig that I'm not really into or my heart is not into. But I know for someone else, they would, love to do it. So it's a bit selfish to hold that, for yourself and do something when your heart is not really into it. You're not giving the client what they deserve, and you're not doing yourself any favors either. So
yeah, you just want to give opportunity, right? I can't wait till I'm at a point where, and I may be even sharing one of like my dreams or goals or whatever, but I can't wait where I'm at a point where I'm able to just, be able to have an agency and just, be able to distribute the work out to different stylists, and because I'm sure I'm going to get to a point where I'm not trying to give somebody a look anymore. Like, I'm going to be on to different parts of my business that I'm going to be expanding into. So I just want to be able to distribute, the work, the creativity, the money. Like, it's more than enough to go around for all of us to win. It shouldn't just be certain people at the top. We can all make it if we work hard, and if it's we all get a chance to prove ourselves. So
and speaking about the future, where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
That's a loaded question.
No, it's
and
not.
I do think that it's a loaded question.
No,
and,
she didn't, Hillel. She's from the States. She's from New York, and she's based in LA right now.
Yes. What is Horsey?
That's a school in London.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Hey, everyone who's just joined. 10 years from now, I will be. I see myself as a business mogul, just running the show. Like, I'm literally running the show. I'm running the show. Whether I'm running the show, and I think I've already had 10 years already in my career in the fashion industry. So I think the next 10 years will really be more establishment and more me creating opportunities for others in some capacity. That's so nice long story short, so yeah, I would be creating more opportunities for others within 10 years and really just expanding my business.
I mean, by creating this course, you're already on that journey,
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm in a good place, and I'm really starting to find new ways to create where I'm also still able to serve. So that makes me happy. Yeah.
And my final question: how do you think you'll impact the styling industry in the long run?
By providing opportunities for others, servicing others, being able to reach back down and lift those behind me coming up. you know, putting them on game, giving them internships, giving them jobs, giving them gigs, putting them connecting. I'm a connector. I connect people. I've
More
connected
than a
people.
stylist.
I'm more than a stylist. I'm a connector, and I love to see people win. I want to be around people who are winning, just like me, right? So any way that I can help, I'm doing that, you know. And I've seen the results of that happen. Like, I've connected people, and now it's just like that person is winning, and I feel good about it because I was at the spearhead of that connection, you know, and it makes me feel good. It's like, okay, something came from this. This is good. It's not about a place of just being jealous.
That's one of the best
like,
feelings
damn.
ever.
It's the best feeling because you know where it came from, right? So just continuing to provide opportunity and continuing to just expand and evolve AV Academy. Like, I'm going to like even have like mentorship program, like just being able to help those coming after me. So I'm really excited about the impact that Amir V and V Mode Consulting as a whole will have on the fashion industry, because baby, we got more to come. Okay, we got more to come. So I'm excited. I just want to thank you, Dahlia, for literally listening to me complain or listening to me just talk crazy and just be frustrated but also excited, and just kind of hold my hand through all the emotions of putting this course together. Like, you've been there for me 100%, and like even sparked ideas in my mind about how to expand and what to add and what to take away. So thank you so much for just being so involved in this process and just really just being a true friend. Literally, like, you've really been a true friend.
You're gonna make me cry, girl.
No tears for the IG life. But no, for real, like, you just really like held me down in this process, and even though I've been beating myself up about, oh my God, like, it's still not out, like, I was the only one giving myself a deadline, you know. No one even knew about this course, and I was beating myself up about not having it out at a certain time, but it was supposed to come out when it was supposed to come out, because also it had to be right. So just thank you for letting me know, like, that's okay, and that I'm doing great, even though these are things that I know, but I need to hear it. Of course. Thank you for just being just an amazing friend and support system.
Thank you.
And doing this live and helping me just talk about the class and selling it. And I love you so much. So thank you.
Oh, I love you too. No, I think what you said, I definitely appreciate. And I feel like you just need to be the friend that you need for others and, you know, for people around you. And it's important to be a good friend because, well, that's how, you know, karma, right?
Right. And it's like, I think you're just being it just feels normal to be, right? It's just you and being in your truth. It's not like you're trying to be a good friend, like you just are, right? So thank you for that.
Especially now during this time, I think it's part of just being very mindful and being very, what's the word? Your intentions, like being intentional. So, you know, it's quarantine, we're all at home, we're all, you know, in this pandemic together, you know, we're all in the lockdown together, but what are you doing during that time? And if you have, you know, you may not necessarily be working on anything, but if you have friends or you have people in your life or family or people around you that are working on stuff, you should help them, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm saying this to everyone that's listening right now.
No, yeah, period. That's so true. And even getting feedback, like, this young lady already bought a class and bought the course, and she's like, you've already started. She's like, I've already started, and I'm so grateful for this course. I'm only on the first session. It's so insightful, such a blessing. I'm going to be looking for more when I finish. Like, that makes me so happy. I'm so happy. I was like, what is even happening? I got a class. But there's just going to be more to come.
Listen, if you can change one person's life, that's enough.
Listen,
like, you've
my
already
job
done
is
your
done.
job, you know, just one person.
Job is
you've already
done.
Like,
it's done. So I just feel amazing. And I just can't wait to, like, because now that it's done, I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like, there's more. I need to create more, right?
Right.
So there's going to be more coming, another class, another ebook, and just more different ways to really expand my business and my platform, even with my Creators Exchange lives that I've been doing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
I've been
all
enjoying them so
inspiring me
much.
so much. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. And just for, yes, purple is my color. Yep, it is. The whole course is purple. Okay, the whole course. Even everything's purple. I love purple. It's royalty. It's victorious. It's winning. It's all of that. So, just a few words that I want to leave with everyone is that there's no win or fail in styling. It's up to each person to make of it what you want, right? And just keep the fashion first, keep the passion, stay creative, and just keep the fire burning. And that's
Amen.
a quote that I put at the end of my course because it's just a little word of inspiration that, there's no right or wrong. It's really what you make of it. And just because I did it this way doesn't mean that you can't take the information and do it. And even you're applying it, but still doing it in your way. So,
Exactly.
yeah, it's great. I'm happy that this happened. So this will live on my IGTV for those who want to rewatch the first one and this one as well. It'll be on my stories for 24 hours, and then I'll put it on IGTV so that these different parts can live on there. Yeah.
And so, just before you go, tell everyone where they can get the course.
Everyone, you can I should just be doing
Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're not a stylist, tell someone that knows a stylist.
You guys can get it. The link in my bio. Yeah, the link in my bio. Find the class. I should have had this up pinned, but by clicking link in my bio.
And honestly, guys, spread the word. Like, if you know anyone that's into fashion, if you know anyone that's an aspiring stylist, anyone that's a creative, that's into, anything visual, like this course is definitely helpful for them. I've seen it myself. I've gone through the whole thing. Like it's
like
great.
I had Dahlia look through it and kind of be like, okay, I need separate eyes to look through the course and let me know what you think, because I can be really anal about things. And I just wanted to kind of get a different perspective. And she started crying, and I was like, girl,
you just gonna expose me to the world like that?
No, but it just goes to show how genuine of a person that you are, and like you saw me really putting effort into something where it touched you or made you cry. Like that means a lot. I started crying
when I saw the course. I did. I was just like, this is lit. I'm so proud of you,
Thank
for
you.
creating
Thank
something
you so much.
So amazing and so beautiful and so like, honestly, just so professional. So like, it's just going through it. I'm just like, this is amazing. It's a great product. It's definitely going to work. Anyone that gets it is going to learn from it. And for you to be able to just, put together all of your knowledge in such a beautiful way and, in a way that people can actually learn from it, essentially what you're doing is you're passing your skill on. So
yeah, 1000%. I'm reaching back down and I'm pulling up. I'm reaching back down and I'm pulling up. So all those who like to slide in my DMs and ask me all the styling advice, the course is finally here with all the answers that you may need. Thank you, Dahlia, for taking time to really allow me to further explain what this is about. And yeah, it's going to bless you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to this live. And yeah, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to FaceTime you, girl.
Okay, bye.